Hello friends, today I'm going to show you how you can make your computer run faster. We'll start from the very basic, which is fixing the startup. Maybe your computer is taking a little too long to start. So we'll see how you can make the computer start up relatively faster, and then we'll go ahead and troubleshoot the other things basically that will also cause your system to slow down, and we'll try to fix it one by one. So let's get started. The first thing you need to do is right click on your taskbar and click on task manager. Now it might show like this, a very small window listing all the applications that is currently running. In the bottom left corner you will have something called a more details. Just click on that. Once you click on that, it shows you all the other tabs which are very important. In this case we'll simply go to startup. Now here it basically lists all the program that is currently listed in your startup action, which is when the computer is starting, all these programs will start at the very beginning, and that means it is going to add some time in your computer's overall startup time. So here what we are going to do is we are going to disable a few things which we don't require immediately. For example, in this case you can see Spotify. Spotify is something that is a music client, and I don't necessarily listen to music the first thing I start my computer. So I'm going to just disable Spotify from the startup. The way you do it is right click on Spotify in this example, or any other app that you are trying to disable. Right click on it and click on disable. If it is already disabled, it will show you enable. However, it basically is a flip switch. You have to, from this list, understand what you want to keep and what you want to disable. In my example, I want to disable Spotify, Java Update Scheduler because I don't really use Java that much. Then Adobe Updater Startup Utility, disable. Logitech Download Assistant. So download assistance I don't really require. But the rest of the stuff now is looking pretty good, which is Windows Security Notification, Realtek HD Audio Manager, HD Audio Background Process, and Translucent Taskbar. By the way, if you want to see what Translucent Taskbar does, I have made a separate video about that, and that's really cool. Anyway, so now you have particularly fixed the startup problem. So let's move to the next one. For the next one, we are going to disable a few services that is also probably causing the system to slow down. So what we'll do is go to run. So press Windows and R button together, and you can get a run prompt just like this. And type in msconfig. MS as in Microsoft, config short form of configuration. Once you type in that and press enter, it will show you something like this, which says General tab, Boot tab, Services tab, Startup tab, and Tools tab. We are interested in Services tab here. So simply click on the third tab, which is Services. Now here it is basically listing down all the services that are currently there in this computer. You do not want to mess with the system, which is Microsoft's internal services, because stopping those might actually harm the computer in a way that it may not function properly. So to avoid that, simply click on hide all Microsoft services, just to ensure that it shows the non-essential services now. Now as you can see, I have a handy list of some 8-10 items here, and out of those things I can simply see what all things basically I require, like Google Chrome related services. Do I need them? Probably not, because they are update services. I can simply go to Google Chrome's About Chrome menu and update it manually. So I simply can disable it from here. So this services does not get loaded at the startup. Similarly, if there is any other service which you recognize that you may not require, you can simply disable those. Here I am keeping Windscribe service, which is a VPN service provider, and I use this VPN service, and that is why I am keeping it. Realtek Audio is my audio driver, so that service is also required. Intel HD Graphics Control Panel service, this is what I require, I am keeping it, and the Bluetooth service. And there is something called Intel Content Protection service, so I am keeping it untouched just to be on the safer side. and pretty much we are good to go. Now you click on OK. It will ask you to restart the machine to ensure the services are stopped when you next time the system boots up. Go ahead and click on restart, and that is pretty much the step 2 which is done. Now let's talk about the step 3, which is scanning the drive for folders or files those are no longer required. Check for any errors in the hard drive and also defragment the drive. If it sounds complicated, please do not worry. I'm going to show it to you one by one. So let's start with the disk cleanup. So as you can see, I am just right clicking on a particular drive, in this case my C drive, and going to properties. Once I am in properties, there is a menu item, there is a button rather, which calls disk cleanup. Click on the button. This shows you all the different items which is currently there in the drive, and the operating system feels you can simply delete those items. However, be careful, there will be different folders also included, like downloads, in which case whatever you have downloaded and is a content of the downloads folder, those are also listed down here because they are not necessarily Windows files which is required to run the operating system properly. So for Microsoft Windows point of view, you can delete it, but you may want to personally keep those files. So be careful about what you are deleting or selecting in this menu. So in this case, I'm not going to select downloads because I want to keep those files. What I'll do instead is I'll say recycle bin, you clean it up, temporary files, clean it up, thumbnail related cache items, clean it up, and temporary internet files, clean it up. It basically will perform a deletion for all those files, and that's how your drive cleanup is done. The next thing in the menu is checking for the hard drive, which is going to the tools in the same prompt and click on check. So it will do a quick error checking for the drive. In this example, I'm showing you for the C drive. This typically takes a little bit of time, and in my case it always took about a minute, not more than that, not less than that. Let it complete. There are a few cases where it will find some error on the drive, and what it will suggest is either to restart your machine. During the boot up, it basically will start to fix those issues in the hard drive, or it can fix it then and there. So it will basically tell you what is the next step. You just follow the prompt and you should be alright. So in this case, as you can see, it took me about a minute, as I was telling you earlier, and it says your drive was successfully scanned. Windows successfully scanned the drive and no errors were found. So I'm pretty good to go here with this particular item. So let's see quickly what is the next item. The next thing is called disk optimization. It is also known as disk defragmentation. In this case, it will list down all the hard drive that is currently connected to your system. So in this case, you can see my C drive is actually a solid state drive, and I will simply click on that particular list entry and click on the optimize button. Now I have already done it some time back, so it just finished it within a minute, or not even a minute, it took probably a couple of seconds. But for you, it might do little analysis of the drive, what kind of files and folders are there, what is the structure it is following, and then based on that it will suggest what is the next course of action. It might take about 5 to 10 minutes as well in some cases, so don't worry too much, let it do its stuff, and it should basically optimize the drive, and that enables you to operate faster on the system as well. So this is very important and very easy once you know what you are doing. So that is the last step I wanted to show you here, and we are pretty good to close this particular window once this is successfully done. There are a few more items that I would like to show you, and that is there in the Windows settings part of it. That is again going to be a 5 to 10 minutes video, and in order to keep this video a little short, I am basically putting it as a part 2. Go to that video and see what are the different other things that you can do to complete the overall optimization of your PC or laptop. I'll give you the link in the description section down below, so feel free to check out that tutorial as well, and it will complete the entire process that I wanted to share with you. So in case you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and also don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I'll see you in the next one. That's all for now. Bye bye.